Income inequality, or the wealth gap, refers to the unequal distribution of income and opportunity among different groups in a society. It's a phenomenon as old as human civilization itself, but it has been intensifying globally over the past few decades. In 2020, the top 10% of the global population held approximately 52% of the total global income. This is income equality in action, the chasm between the rich and the poor, a divide that appears to be growing. We are going to delve into this complex world of income inequality, trying to untangle as many threads by asking ourselves 4 central questions. First, what is income inequality? We will then look at what causes income inequality. What are the consequences of income inequality? And finally, what are possible solutions to reduce income inequality? As we begin this exploration, let's remember, it's not about pointing fingers, but about comprehending the realities of our economic structures and considering the challenges and potential solutions that can contribute to a more equitable world. When we talk about income inequality, we refer to the uneven distribution of income among a population. Economically, it's an age-old issue, but in recent decades, it has emerged as a central socio-economic challenge globally. To measure this uneven distribution of wealth, economists often use tools like the Gini coefficient, a statistical dispersion intended to represent a nation's income distribution among its residents. This coefficient ranges from 0 to 1, where 0 represents perfect equality, everyone has the same income, and 1 signifies perfect inequality. One person has all the income, and everyone else has none. For context, the global Gini coefficient was approximately 0.65 in 2020, signaling a high level of global income disparity. To understand the full implications of income inequality, we must journey through time. Income inequality has been a part of human societies since the dawn of civilization. In the Middle Ages, feudal societies were characterized by large wealth gaps, with monarchs and nobility possessing the majority of wealth while peasants lived in poverty. Then came the Industrial Revolution in the 18th and 19th centuries, a period that marked the shift from agrarian economies to industrial ones. Wealth was no longer tied solely to land ownership, but also to capital in industries. This period saw a sharp increase in income inequality as those who owned the industries profited massively, while many laborers remained poor. The 20th century brought changes that initially reduced income inequality in many countries. Post-World War II, the developed nations saw significant economic growth accompanied by relatively equitable wealth distribution. This era, from the 1950s to 1970s, is often referred to as the Great Compression. Public policy such as progressive taxation and the strengthening of labor rights and social safety nets played significant roles in reducing income disparities. However, from the 1980s onwards, we've seen a reversal of this trend, particularly in developed countries. The wealth gap started expanding again in what some economists call the Great Divergence. This period is characterized by factors such as economic globalization, technological advancements favoring high-skilled workers, and changes in labor market policies and tax laws, often favoring the wealthy. When we set out to identify the causes of income inequality, it's clear that it's not a result of a singular factor, but rather a complex interplay of various economic, societal, and political elements. From an economic perspective, the advent of globalization has played a considerable role in exacerbating income disparities. As the economies of the world become increasingly interconnected, labor markets have become more competitive. High-skill, high-wage jobs are often available to those with education and resources, while low-skill jobs tend to see wage stagnation or even wage declines as they compete in an increasingly global market. Societal factors such as education, race, and gender also contribute to income inequality. Educational attainment is strongly correlated with income level. The pay gap between those with a college degree and those without has widened significantly in recent decades. Discrimination based on race and gender also plays a role in income inequality, with women and racial minorities often earning less than their counterparts. Technological advancements have added another layer of complexity: the rise of automation and digitization, often referred to as the fourth industrial revolution has created a shift in demand towards high-skilled labor and a decrease in demand for routine manual work. This technological change, which economists sometimes call skill-biased technological change, tends to increase wage disparities. Political factors have a considerable influence on the distribution of wealth within a society. Tax policies, regulations, and social welfare programs can either reduce or exacerbate income inequality. Over the past several decades, many countries have seen a trend towards less progressive tax systems, reducing taxes on the wealthy and on corporations. This has resulted in a greater concentration of wealth at the top. The causes of income inequality are intertwined and complex, making it a challenging issue to address. The consequences of income inequality are profound, extending beyond individual economic circumstances to societal well-being, economic stability, and even democratic governance. At an individual level, income inequality can limit access to essential services such as quality education and healthcare. Lower-income individuals, in comparison to their wealthier counterparts, often face barriers to quality education, which can result in a perpetuation of poverty and inequality across generations. Similarly, quality healthcare is often inaccessible to the poor, leading to a potential decline in overall public health. On a societal level, significant income inequality can lead to social divisions and increased crime rates. A study published in the British Journal of Psychiatry found a positive correlation between income inequality and higher rates of mental illness. Moreover, research consistently finds a connection between inequality and increased crime rates, as disparity can lead to social tension and desperation. From an economic standpoint, excessive income inequality can harm economic growth and stability. A report by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, found that countries with high income inequality tend to have lower and less durable economic growth. The reason for this could be the lack of investment in education and healthcare among the lower income population, which can lead to decreased productivity and economic potential. Income inequality can also pose challenges to democratic governance. When wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few, it can translate to disproportionate political power, which could potentially lead to policies favoring the wealthy and further exacerbating inequality. Addressing this economic divide entails changes at various levels, from policy reforms to cultural shifts, and no one-size-fits-all solution exists. However, economists, policymakers, and social scientists propose several strategies that could potentially alleviate income inequality. A crucial starting point is education. Enhancing access to quality education for everyone, irrespective of socioeconomic background, can break the cycle of poverty and reduce income disparities. This would involve investing in early childhood education, providing adequate funding for schools in low-income areas, and making higher education more accessible and affordable. The labor market also plays a critical role in income distribution. Therefore, implementing policies that promote fair wages can make a significant difference. This includes strengthening workers' rights, raising the minimum wage, and ensuring equal pay for equal work. Additionally, supporting the creation of jobs in sectors with solid wage growth can help mitigate income inequality. Some economists suggest that implementing a system where the more affluent are taxed at increased rates, often referred to as progressive taxation, could assist in mitigating income imbalances. This method might lead to a more balanced resource distribution. Additionally, it offers a way for the government to fund public services and social amenities, which are advantageous to all citizens. Expanding social safety nets like unemployment insurance, healthcare coverage, affordable housing programs, and food assistance can also play a vital role in reducing income inequality. These programs provide a buffer for those experiencing economic hardships, helping to reduce poverty and protect against economic downturns. Lastly, addressing systemic discrimination based on race, gender, ethnicity, or other social categories is crucial. Equal opportunity is a cornerstone of a fair society, and policy should ensure that everyone, regardless of their background, has an equal shot at economic success. It's important to note that these solutions require political will, societal support, and above all, a shared commitment to creating a fair and equitable society. Reducing income inequality isn't an overnight process, but with concerted efforts, it's possible to build a more inclusive and equitable economic system. As we conclude our exploration, we must remember that understanding and addressing income inequality is crucial for our shared prosperity and future. I hope you liked this video. If you want to see more like it, remember to subscribe. Until next time.